StevO.
Yo.
Big Q, what's the word?
What is up?
Hey man, we got a whole new panel on Chi-Town Sports. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey y'all, today we're gonna talk about the Chicago Bears' remaining schedule, fellas. They got the toughest remaining schedule in the NFL. The cupcakes are over. The Chicago Bulls, first 15 games of the season. We'd like to know what you all think about their first. What's your expectations, Steve OQ? What's y'all's expectations? And we're gonna touch on all the rest of the teams just a little bit. Any news that came up over the last 24 hours, but y'all already know. You got to hit an intro. All right, good morning, Chicago sports fans. Welcome to another episode of Chi-Town Sports Central. It's your boy, Big Kev. We got Quinton in the building and StevO in the building as well. And we're going to talk about all our Chicago sports teams as we do every day over here on Chi-Town Sports Central. Go ahead, like, follow, comment, share, all those good things. And we're going to jump right into it with the Chicago Bears. Now, they've had a pretty easy schedule so far. 2 losses on the schedule were winnable games. They could be undefeated. They could definitely be 6-0, playing in the toughest division in all of football. Everybody's above 500. Everybody has a positive plus minus, and now they have the toughest schedule remaining. So we're gonna do just a real quick predictions, real quick, y'all. How we feeling about this Commanders game?
Go ahead, Q.
I mean, it comes down to how Jaden Daniels plays, or if he plays. Honestly, I think we can win. But if right now the Bears and Washington are in a moment where we're becoming rivals, if he doesn't play, everything that happens is going to just wash down to, well, Jaden Daniels didn't play, so therefore you should have won, or, oh, he did play. That's going to be the winning. You have to beat Washington with Jaden Daniels on the field for it to mean anything to Caleb Williams.
Man, for me, I don't care if he play or not. You got to win. If he plays and you get the win, that's good for the optics. But if he doesn't play and you don't win, man, come on. You lose to Marcus Mariota, bro. I'm not trying to hear it.
Hey,
The
still
Bears,
on market.
the Bears got to get this win. Our defense is strong enough to carry us. But Caleb Williams has been coming around over the last few weeks. I'm expecting him to go out there and be solid, especially after a good bye week, getting healthy, getting rid of those nicks and bruises. How you feeling, Steve-O?
I'm feeling pretty good. I think when it comes down to it, it's just about how the defense gets to the quarterback and how they stop the run. Because we already know they're not gonna beat us through the air.
And
Most teams are
Robinson is
not.
solid.
Yeah, and Robinson, and they got another, and Eckler. They got both of them. So,
Mm-hmm.
and they can use them out in the backfield. Eckler can catch out the backfield. So, and we know, like, the only time we really had trouble with teams is in them inside zones and them problems that they do. And they do a lot of heavy shotgun inside zone runs. So it's gonna be a big day for Billings and that D line, because if they can control that run game, I think we can lock them down for the most part. But that's the thing. We're gonna have to get them off the field. And I think the most important aspect of this game, whether it's Marcus or Jaden, even though Jaden little ass better play, third downs, they got to get off the field, because this is a team that rarely punts. And Sunday, we need them to punt. So third downs is crucial. Us converting on third down is crucial. But all in all, we got the better defense, therefore, and our online is getting better. Our offense is syncing together. So with that being said, I do feel like we have the better overall team. We just got to be overall sharp that day.
I just want to see a good start from the Chicago Bears. I don't think they've scored on the opening drive yet this season. They barely scored in the first quarter. So let's see what they can get done.
We like an 18 wheeler. We got to get going first.
Right. Cardinals is the next game in week 9. Is that a W or L?
It should be a W, but it's not a team we could take lightly. Like, we just seen what they're capable of doing against the Chargers, even though we beat the Chargers before. But they got some nice wins under their belt. You know, they had that good game a couple weeks ago against the 49ers where they won by 1 point. But besides that, we know they're a beatable team. But like I said, it's a team that we can't take lightly. So this is another team, another game where I feel like it could be a more balanced game. Like versus the Commanders game, I feel like the defense is going to be more prevalent throughout the game. Versus the Cardinals game, I think you're going to see a nice balance between the offense and the defense, and we should come out with that win.
Q.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's something like you said. It should be a win. I think that goes back to the Washington game and why it's important. I think if the Bears beat Washington with Jaden Daniels playing, they're going to have way too much confidence going to Arizona. Right? They'll know what they need to do. If you lose that game, now you're coming off a loss. You're trying to make things happen that probably didn't happen. We know Caleb plays hero ball sometimes. So the last thing you want is for him to lose and then try to do some things he's not supposed to be doing because he's trying to make things happen against Arizona and they end up slipping up and losing too. So, I mean, definitely a winnable game. It's just going to come down to sitting down, understanding what your goals are, what you're supposed to be doing, and hitting people who you're supposed to be hitting. I think it came out last week that he was like, it was number 1 in the league in short passes for the week.
Yep.
You know what's working. Just stick to it.
I'm going with a W there. So for me is they beating the Commanders and they're beating the Cardinals, and then we got Week 10 for the Patriots with
Blowout.
the third was this is the third quarterback taken in this past draft with
Yep.
Drake May.
Ain't
So now,
nice. I can't
yeah,
even lie.
Drake May looks pretty solid. He definitely scans the field. He definitely he goes through his progressions. He takes what the defense gives him also. So we know that the Bears like to play a lot of zone defense. So they're gonna be looking to pick the Bears apart. But that if that front four can get to Drake May, it's gonna be a problem. It should be a blowout, but we at home in that game too, and it should be a little chilly out on November 10th. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm expecting it to be Bear weather. It should be a Bears game. It should be an easy win. So that could be another win. That could be 3 straight wins after the bye. How y'all feeling about that?
Yeah. That's a 3-pick and a fumble game right there. Like it's just because he's a young quarterback, we have a lot of disguises we can run in the zone, and that's something. And with the pressure getting to him, he's going to get hit. Drake May is going to get hit. So if we gonna get to the line, we gonna get to him at least a couple times. So with that being said, we by that time all our secondary should be back and should be healthy. So Brisker and Kyler should be back by then. So with that being said, go hit him and go pick the ball off because he's going to be. This is the type of game where he's going to be like, okay, welcome to the league. This is for real. Because I don't think he's really going against elite defense yet. So this the first time he probably gonna go up into. I don't know who they play in the next 2 weeks. Let me double check before I say anything crazy. Play the Jets and Titans, so the Titans probably gonna give them a little run for their money due to the D line. But compared to a complete defense, we probably gonna be the first complete elite defense that they've seen thus far, next to the 49ers.
Q.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those games where when you get a rookie, you got to do what you got to do, especially with our team. Like, we are one of the best defenses in the league. You got to show it. If you go against a rookie, you got to put everything you know into getting to the quarterback. Like, he's gonna make mistakes. Like Steve said, he's playing a full defense for once. He's gonna not know what to do. So you got to capitalize. It's gonna come down to them getting to the quarterback, making smart reads. I'm hoping for a pick six.
That'd be nice to see.
I just want to see one.
From who?
Anybody. I just want to see
You gotta
one.
pick. You gotta pick one. Everybody know you gotta pick
Tyreek
I
gonna
want
get it.
no.
one.
Yeah, probably. But I would love Jalen Johnson because I'm a Johnson. So, I like watching my name and my number run down the field. But I think it'll be something to see. I think they'll get after the quarterback. I think the defense will be confident. And if I'm being honest, by New England, I think the offense will be set. They'll know exactly who they are.
They better be, because this is after this game is when it really gets to the true toughest part
Yeah.
of the schedule. And honestly, I'm calling it the college part of the schedule, because they basically gonna play everybody in their division twice
Yeah, that's what it
moving
feel like.
forward, and then they got San Francisco and Seattle in the middle of it. So it's going.
God damn, it look like the SEC.
I'm telling you, bro, it's about to be crazy. So instead of going over each game individually with the division games, let's just predict how the Bears are going to finish in their division. Are they going to finish above 500, at 500, or below 500?
I'm gonna be honest. I think they'll be below 500.
I was just about to say I'll be remiss I'll be very highly confident to say we'll be above because I could see us splitting pretty much every game against them. If not, I don't know. I feel like Lions is just a little different this year. I don't know.
So they're gonna go into the Green Bay Packers game most likely on a 4-game winning streak, 5-game winning streak,
Hopefully,
and so they'll have momentum, and it'll be at home the
at
first
home, yeah.
game. The only thing I'm gonna say about that one is if Caleb Williams defeats the Packers, I'm going to buy a jersey. Plain and simple. I'm getting the Caleb Williams jersey the second that game is over. That's it.
I told you, you gonna make a mistake. Don't do it.
Nah, ain't no mistake. I don't care if
It
he
is.
lose the rest of the games of his life. The Bears haven't beat the Packers
No,
since 2018.
I'm not buying the jersey until he get that second contract. I'm not doing it.
I don't care about the contrast. I want to.
I
I'm a rep.
do because
I'm a
I'll be damned. I'll be damned. I'm not buying another QB jersey just to just sit in the corner in obscurity. I'm not doing it.
in the Jersey graveyard. But
For
yeah, I
real.
got the Bears going 3-3 into the division. I think this division they'll play each other tough anyway. They played Detroit tough twice. They should have beat them twice last year.
Facts.
The Minnesota Vikings as well. They should have beaten them twice, and then they held the Packers to below 21 points, I think, in both games. I know the last game they only scored 16, 17 points, something like that. So I think the Bears defense is what's going to carry them to some divisional victories. And the offense is different. It's different. They don't have to just sit back and wait for Justin Fields to make a mistake. As far as throwing the ball, I think Caleb Williams is a better pocket passer, and the other teams have to be prepared for that. So I think the Bears are going to go 3-3. They're not going to finish above 500, but they're going to be 3-3 in the division and position themselves for the playoffs. So the last two teams on the schedule are the NFC West. It's the 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. The 49ers they get in week 14 in San Francisco or Candlestick, or wherever they call it. So how y'all feeling about that one? That's a late season game, December 8th. They're
And
gonna
we in Cali.
Yeah, so they're out west, coming off of possibly a loss, but it's going to be a longer week because they'll have 10 days off after Thanksgiving. So, how y'all feeling about that game, the Bears versus the San Francisco 49ers after Thanksgiving, after playing the Lions?
I'm scared because by the time that comes, Christian should be back. And if Christian is back,
I don't think he's coming back this season, bro. I think he out for the season.
they haven't announced that he's out for the season. They just said he's dealing with the Achilles or what is it, hamstring? One of them is I know
It's
it's ankle.
all of it. I think his whole
Yeah,
body is he got the whole match
season
cursed.
up. Yeah, he's season up on my mama. But yeah, it just they're one of the most complete teams of football. So by that time, my office definitely got to be on par. It got to be clicking. Everybody got to know what they got to do. We got to be comfortable with each other. Coaches got to trust within each other. But yeah, I don't know. That's a toss up for me because, like I said, we've seen like don't get me wrong. Like I said, the 49ers are a complete team, but they've lost to some people they had no business losing to. So they're a beatable team, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough to beat San Francisco on the road, but for some reason, the Chicago Bears play San Francisco well, regardless of what San Francisco does for the
The Rams
rest of the
beat them,
season.
bro.
Yeah, and the Bears, San Francisco's tough, right? They're in their own issues. They got so many injuries. It's not just about Christian McCaffrey because they got
Yeah.
injuries across the board, whether it's at wide receiver, at running back. Maybe one of their coaches is injured. I don't know. It's just tough in San Francisco right now. So,
Yeah, they
I,
just announced Brandon tore his ACL, so I forgot
yeah,
about that. Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, it's that with alongside of I think you go a little bit of fatigue, like we said when we was talking about the Chiefs yesterday. Like they're kind of going to fatigue good because they're playing the last 3 years. They played about 60 games compared to the other teams in the league. So yeah, this be the year to take advantage. We the fresher squad.
And it's tough to predict like what's going to happen in late December. So we
Yeah,
don't know what either one of these teams are going to look like. But it's a winnable game. And then the last home game of the season is versus the Seahawks before the Bears go to Lambeau Field to close the season out. I think the Bears can win that game too. That's just the reality for me. I feel like the Bears are going to win at least 7 more games this season. I know it sounds crazy, but to put them at 11 wins, that's a playoff team for me. And you got to beat the other NFC teams if you want that to happen, because you might see a situation where the entire NFC North makes the playoffs.
No,
So it's gonna be crazy, bro. How you feeling about this Seahawks game, Quinton?
I mean, it's gonna be late in the season. I think we can win, but it's gonna come down to the team's gonna come down if there's injuries. I mean, you look at who we're playing before that. There's a high likelihood you could have some injuries, especially if you're going up against like a Green Bay, a Minnesota, Detroit. Like that's a big thing you got to take into account. But I mean, the good thing is our defensive line it's stacked. We got a good depth chart, so I think if we do suffer some injuries there, we can make up for it. What's going to come down is the secondary. You can't lose
yeah,
anybody.
Can't.
So like going through this gauntlet of like they're going to be needed every single game puts a lot of pressure. You lose one of them, the whole season turns upside down. So
Yeah, it's different. But I do think we have the offensive chops. I'm liking what I'm seeing from Shane Waldron. I'm liking how he's utilizing the weapons that they have. I feel like by that point, if Keenan Allen is still healthy, you're looking at an offense that's going to be putting up 25, 26 plus points a game, regardless of what's happening with the defense. So the offense is going to be humming by that point, especially when the weather breaks. We're going to see what happens, man. We're going to see what happens. So let us know down below in the comments how y'all feeling about the remaining schedule for the Chicago Bears. Do they finish with 10 wins, 9 wins, 11 wins? What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments. And if you want any more Chicago Bears news, go ahead and follow Chicago Bears Central, where the entire gang pops in and out, but it's mainly hosted by Hayes, C-Dub, and Bobby. Now, moving right along to the Chicago Bulls, y'all. It's basketball time. Tonight, we got 2 NBA games. Chicago Bulls kick their season off tomorrow on the road versus the New Orleans Pelicans. So, first 15 games of the season, fellas. What are you guys expecting from this Chicago Bulls team? Because me personally, I feel like they're going into the season heavily underrated. I think the over-under was 28 and a half. I'm not sure if it's still that, but I think it's a safe bet to bet the over on the Chicago Bulls this season. That's easy money in my opinion. But their first few games of the season, they started off with the Pelicans, then they played the Bucks in Milwaukee, and then they got Oklahoma City at home, Memphis, Orlando, Brooklyn, Utah, Dallas, Minnesota, Atlanta, Cleveland, Knicks, Cleveland again, and Houston Rockets and the Detroit Pistons. So
what
they
the
have they have a decent little stretch of games to start the season. How you guys feeling about the Chicago Bulls first 15 games? What's going on, Steve? Was some breaking news? What's cracking? What happened?
yeah.
Somebody
It has
picked up.
nothing to do with Chicago sports, but I gotta say it. Tyreek Hill has been traded back to the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh
oh,
wow, that's gonna break. They gonna get their third championship, bro. They about to get their third championship.
how do you even do that?
Oh my
That's what I'm
god,
sitting here like, bro. They didn't say nothing. There was no word,
bro.
no inklings.
But
That's
Yeah.
like,
wild.
as the Dolphins, why?
Because they know their season
Well,
over with,
well,
and he
the
making a
Dolphins. I
bag.
don't. Yeah, I was just about to say I don't blame them because they kind of in the same situation with. I feel like the Raiders and who's the other team I was talking about? The Raiders and Cleveland. You at a point where it's like you got a lot of old players on your team that still has value, but the end of the tunnel is there's no light shown. You don't really know what the future holds. So your best bet is just to blow it up. I feel like out of all those franchises, those 3 franchises should be the one to blow it up. So I'm looking to see what the compensation was for the trade, but yeah, I mean I understand it, but I ain't know it was possible for him to go back to
Yeah,
KC though.
I
Man,
can't work for
that's
a franchise.
exactly
I'm
what
too
they
petty.
needed, bro. That's
There's no way I'm
exactly.
looking at a team be like, this is making you a guaranteed title contender. Yeah, let me just go ahead and do
And
that.
they
They
and they
already 6-0.
right, and they undefeated. The referees are 6-2 in that situation. But Lord have mercy, bro.
No,
That's
I'm
crazy.
taking everybody's call but them.
You feel me, bro?
Anybody else can have them except for you.
on, cuz. Let me
You
get
got
him
to have at
back,
least
cuz.
you got to have
Like, I want it.
at max a 500 record. Like,
I really want to hear this
be over
conversation
500.
now. I want to hear the conversation. How did they get him back? Come on, cuz. Come on. Yeah, let me get him back, bro.
Wow, bro. And what did they get? Like, we gonna have to. I
They
don't even
they they
know.
ain't even said anything yet. I'm still waiting for it.
Man, this was more secretive than Billy Donovan's extension.
Bro.
That just derailed the entire show.
I'm making sure I'm
I
trying to
mean,
make sure this real, but Ryan Evans is from ESPN. He posted it, so
Welcome to Tyreek Hill Central.
what we talk about Bulls. So yeah, when it comes to the first, I kind of feel like it's two ways it's going to happen. We either gonna catch people completely off guard with the talent that we have, and we gonna be better than what people expect, or we gonna struggle, and it's not necessarily just bad. I think we just gonna struggle mainly because one, we already know we gonna see by next from 2 weeks from now, Billy Donovan gonna change the rotation about 4 times. So you gotta expect that. You still gotta expect some of these players to get used to these players. It's a lot of like the whole trade, like TNT, THT, all those players that just came in. We just signed Giddy. They got to get well back and form with everybody else. But besides that, man, I don't know. I don't really know what to really expect because we young and we got a mixture of old on this team as well. So we could be better than we expected. We could be worse. Who knows?
I mean, yeah, it's classic Bulls. You just go in expecting them to be okay, not good, not bad, just a mediocre middle range team, and whatever happens after that, you get happy or you get sad, but at least you don't start out that way.
I feel like the Bulls are gonna be about 500 to start the season. I think Zach LaVine is coming in with a point to prove, and he's gonna go out there and light the world on fire offensively. That man's going to score 25 plus points a game to start the season. If he stays healthy, he'll be an all-star. I think the rest of these young guys, Kobe White, Ayo Dosunmu, all of those guys are going to be free to play at the pace that they've been wanting to play at, that they've been itching to play at for the last 3 or 4 seasons. And now that DeRozan is gone, this offense is going to look a lot different. The one thing that could hold them back is Vucevic probably, sulking out there because he's not going to get the type of touches that he wants. Um, but at the end of the day, they're going to play with a faster pace. They're going to put points up, and there's going to be nights where they just outscore teams, just plain and simple. And that puts me in the mindset that over these first 15 games, they're going to be either 7-8, 8-7, one of those two for sure. I don't know, Steve-O, if that Tyreek Hill
That's what
situation
I'm
is real.
saying because it said Adam Schefter, but it's Ryan that posted it.
And
So
it's
I
like
don't know.
17 hours ago. So I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't think that's real. But
Yeah. Usually that's you. Hayes got you.
I don't think it's real. But all right, so moving right along to the Chicago White Sox. I've read some news this morning that the Mayor Johnson, is actually open to possibly investing public funds into the 78 group, the group that wants to build the stadium in the South Loop, and we've seen the renderings of it. It does look like it'd be pretty cool to have another Chicago team along the lakefront type situation. I think this would be like along the Chicago River, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah.
in the South Loop. So
Shop Loop, yeah.
so right now, the Chicago White Sox are just a dumpster fire of an organization in general. The owner is talking about possibly selling the team, and then if he does, it's looking like he's selling it to a group of people that wants to take the team to Tennessee, and then nobody trying to root for the Tennessee Moonshiners. So at the end of the day, I think Mayor Johnson is looking to try to figure out a way to keep the Chicago White Sox in Chicago, much like he's doing with the Chicago Bears, trying to figure out a way to keep them here in Chicago. How are you guys feeling about the Chicago White Sox possibly being the reason that Chicago Cook County livers pay more taxes on top of the Bears increasing the taxes as well?
I better not get a Sox stadium before I get a Bears stadium. You cannot be the worst team in the league and get a stadium.
Right.
It
The
don't make
worst
no
team
sense.
in MLB history.
What am I paying for to not go?
Because I ain't going.
I'm pay all this money for this and not go to a game at all. It's gonna look the same. You're gonna buy this brand new stadium, and it's gonna look like Sox games look now. Nobody in the seats.
hmm No, I think it's the novelty of it initially. People are gonna go just to see it, especially like opening day baseball. Everybody goes to opening day. It's like the one few times that the Chicago White Sox sell out is opening day. But as the novelty wears off, it'll just be a nice shiny diamond in the rough.
Toy. Yeah, it's gonna be a nice little toy to look at. It's gonna be a nice little portrait.
And
It's
it's
gonna
gonna
be
add a
a
whole bunch of
portrait
stuff.
ain't. It's basically gonna be like a picture that ain't worth nothing.
Right.
Can't buy it, can't sell it. It's just new. Can't do nothing with it. It's like getting a new. It's just like putting diamonds on a Rich and Millie. Like I'm with y'all. Like at the end of the day, like fix the team before you talk about fixing stadiums or getting new stadiums.
Yeah, and they got a few years to do it. I think their contract is through like 2028, 2029, something like that, with the city. So they got
Which
an
is when we break
opportunity.
ground for the Bears, right?
Yeah, if they do, because the Bears they still haven't completely secured the
Got all that money. Yeah,
right. So they could still be going to Arlington Heights, which I'm honestly all for. To be 100, like I'm okay with that. I'm okay
hey,
with the
that
Bears moving to Arlington Heights and then the White Sox taking over the Bears Stadium. How about we do it that way?
facts.
Because it just it wouldn't make sense to build a new stadium for the most terrible team in the league. Moving on to Chicago Cubs, Nico Horner had surgery on his hand, his right hand. That's just some news that popped up. Wait, real quick about the Chicago White Sox. Uh, Head on over to Chicago White Sox Central for more Chicago White Sox updates. Chicago Bulls Central for all Chicago Bulls updates, and over to Chicago Cubs Central for Chicago Cubs updates. Nico Horner had hand surgery, but I've been hearing rumors that the Cubs might be looking into bringing a fan favorite back. He's currently playing in the World Series, which starts tonight. Does it start tonight? The World Series? I
Let
don't
me
know.
check.
I think so. Because baseball will be humming right
I
along.
would be that would be dumb if when basketball starts.
I mean,
It's
baseball
not.
just be
It
moving right
starts. It's
along.
tomorrow. Wait, no, I'm not. Wait, hold on. It might be Thursday.
They got a few days off, so not too bad. But Anthony Rizzo, World Series winning Chicago Cubs member of that team. He's a fan favorite. He kind of struggled with the Yankees a couple of seasons with
Friday.
injuries. Starting Friday, okay, cool.
Yeah.
With injuries, but now he's playing. He's back healthy, and it doesn't look like the Yankees are going to opt into his contract, especially if they're going to throw the whole city at Juan Soto. So
Yeah. I mean,
it'd
I
be
was just
cool to
about to say, like, it makes sense because, like you said, they about to throw all the money they can at Juan because he's one of the big reasons why they're in this situation. And yeah, isn't he with turning 34 this year or something like that?
He's an older
So
cat.
yeah, he's winding down. I mean, I don't want to say his production is taking a massive drop, but it's dropping a little bit. So yeah, like if you want to bring him back just for some feel good moments for a little bit, like I wouldn't say it's not a stupid decision because it's not like he's not giving you any type of production. But yeah, if you want to bring him back, go ahead. I don't give a fuck. That's y'all team.
Quick, Q, you got anything on the Cubs?
Come on home. It's like Tyreek. Come on home. Come back. Let us see you. Even if he doesn't have a lot of production, we just want to watch you on the field and just say that you back. Buy another Rizzo jersey.
That'd be lit. I'm pretty sure the Cubs fans would be happy to
What
see
was
it.
he 44 or something like that?
What number did
What was the
Rizzo
number?
wear?
Yeah, was it a 44 or something?
I can't even tell you.
I'm not sure.
Are y'all real Cubs fans? What the hell?
I told you I ain't watched the Cubs in years after I work. I worked the year they won.
About to say now,
He said I had
I'm
enough. I'm good.
I'm 42. I'll be barely remembering the names of the active players, let alone the ones that's been gone for a
Oh
few
yeah, so he's
years.
48 now.
hmm So if you guys want any more updates on the Chicago Cubs, check out the newly separated Chicago Cubs channel right here with the Chi-Town Sports Network. And touching on the Blackhawks real quick, they take on the Vancouver Canucks tonight. The Canucks are in the Pacific Division, and they're looking all right to start the season. They're looking okay. The Blackhawks are looking better than I anticipated them to look to start the
No,
year.
for real.
They are 2-3-1. They got 5 points. They're in the thick of things right now, at least. And if they want to get a win tonight, they should. They go out there and get this win to keep their momentum going. We already know that Teravainen and our boy Connor Bedard, they out there making noise, and our goalie is kind of solid too.
Yeah.
Like he's solid. They take a lot of shots against the other teams as well. They get in there. They had so many. The game I watched a couple of games ago, StevO, the Blackhawks had 7 power plays, bro. That was
Yeah.
crazy. So
Yeah.
if they can keep doing that, drawing penalties, stay in the other team's zone, they should be all right tonight. But if you guys want true Chicago Blackhawks news, head on over to Chicago Blackhawks Central, where the guys are
Get them
holding it
assists
down.
up.
Oh yeah. Well, what Connor Bedard already got 6 assists on the season.
I'm about to say is yeah. I mean, they got they got like 27 total, so
Mhm.
they ain't doing terrible. But I just know it could be better.
So yeah, check out Chicago Blackhawks Central with the games with the guys over there. That's how they hold it down for us. And finally, the Chicago Sky, Steve-O. The WNBA has decided to opt out of their collective bargaining agreement. They're trying to
Yep.
secure a bigger bag for the young ladies in the WNBA. It's been all over the news lately. The Angel Reese saying how much money she's making in the WNBA, how it doesn't cover her bills. And for some reason, people took that and thought it meant that she was living above her means and that she can't afford her rent and yada, or that she was even complaining about how much money she makes in the WNBA. But I think the point that she truly was making is that she doesn't really need the WNBA money
It
because
was
she's
a
making
flex.
right. She's making money off the court. She even just partnered with Cash App, but that's neither here nor there. The WNBA opted out of their collective bargaining agreement. How you feeling about that?
I knew they would because especially towards the last few years, and especially the last year of itself. Been a lot of talking, especially with the leaders of it, especially with Aneka and them. They've been talking about not only the money side and the business side of it, but the culture inside of it. And they feel like the culture has been lacking. People are not being treated the way they've been. The higher ups are not protecting the players like they should. And overall, from the business side, they feel like, of course, they should be making more money. So that comes in with TV deals, sponsorships, this, that, and the third, which is something they was definitely gonna redo. And they just had to add some more rules to what they're gonna add to the W, like you said, like the 7 games and stuff like that. Adding more. I think they should also in this new CBA, they should talk about adding an extra roster spot just so because we're adding more teams. So because we're adding more teams, we should at least add either 1 or 2 more roster spot to the CBA. So yeah, I knew it was coming. I knew they was gonna opt out because you gotta strike while the iron is hot, and it's hot as hell right now. So yeah, they want some things fixed. They want some things talked about. They want some things to be brought to the attention of Kathy Engelberg and the higher up. So yeah, this should be their biggest CBA that they've had up until this point. So and it's probably gonna go down, if not the most important CBA in WNBA history.
Agreed. Q.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those times you have to go for it. You gotta ask for as much as possible, right? The league, I mean, they still losing money, but they making more. So
Lost
that's what it's
40.
about.
Damn.
He lost 40 M's.
It's about just going to the table and be like, hey, this is what we going through. Especially if you're gonna add games, you got to give me some more money.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm playing more for. Like, maybe this
I,
game.
I'm just mad that they only adding games to the finals. I think that the entire WNBA playoffs needs to be like the best of 3 is just silly. Like that's just silly. Like, you should at least be best of 5 uh, for the first 2 rounds, and then best of 7. But aside from that, I agree. The ladies are finally starting to have a better supply and demand ratio. You're starting to see more and more fans watching and attending games, and shout out to women starting to finally support women's sports because over the years you hear so many people saying, "Oh, they should be making just as much as the NBA," and it's like, well, you didn't take not one economics class in your entire life, like not one, because that's not how this works. You don't just give people money who aren't generating money. It's just that's just not how it goes. So it's good that they're finally at the point in the position to collectively bargain some actual scratch, because at the end of the day they weren't in that position for 30 years, so it is what it
For real.
is.
You
It
gotta
is
go
what it
get it.
is.
Gotta go get it. Just
And let's
enough
be
time to
real,
go
they're
get
not
it.
gonna make that much more.
They not.
They
They just
sure
lost
ain't.
And that's the
40. Like,
thing. Like, and that was the thing I try to tell people. Like, I've been watching the W. I'm like, y'all, we not gonna really see a profit to like 2030 for
Yeah, it's
real.
gonna,
Like,
well,
it's
it
gonna take a
depends.
minute
It depends on how well this next crop, like you already see what Caitlin Clark is
with
capable of.
Paige and Izzy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Paige and Juju, and if Angel could actually fully develop an offensive game, how these guys develop. If Asia can take a step forward as well, if the New York Liberty are turn into a dynasty because they're big, they're a big market. It's a lot of ifs that's going to determine whether or not the next collective bargaining deal generates true funds for these young ladies, because it's just going to be a slight uptick, especially with the TV deal. And that's the reality of it, is don't sign no 10, 20-year deals with either one
nope.
of these situations. Just do some short-term stuff, 5 years, maybe 4 years, and then renegotiate. All right, y'all. There you have it. Touching on all things Chicago. If you guys want to talk about, listen to any more news on the Chicago Sky, go ahead and head over to Chicago Sky Central. It's the gang, the new Chicago Sports Central, Chi-Town Sports Central, with your boy Big Kev, StevO Speaks, and Quinton Johnson joining the squad. We're gonna see y'all tomorrow, man, with any breaking news over the next 24 hours. We don't think that Tyreek Hill news is real though, so it is what it
Yeah,
is. That would have been crazy. We gonna
yeah.
holler at you guys though, for real, next time.
Peace.
Peace.